Hi, and welcome back to the episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and in today's episode, I'm going to begin to tackle some very big questions that required me to do a lot of research. And so, this is sort of the beginning of me trying to do the research to answer such bigger questions. And so, basically, in this episode, I'm going to go over how I got to do and basically tackle these big questions. And so, I'm going to go through one of my resources, okay, that I found on the internet called My Anime List, okay. And so this website, I sort of ran across it, when I was going through my different streams and that kind of stuff when I was playing on Twitch the other day, and came across someone's My Anime List. It's basically a huge long list of basically of different animes that came out all throughout sort of history, anime history. Right? I thought, well, what better way to sort of begin doing the research for episodes like my favorite types of anime, and so I came across a Rubik's stream where he came across the question like, what kind of animes had the most impactful role in North America. And so I thought, okay, all right, I'm in order to get these kind of questions answered, and I know I have always had another question about what are the different trends in anime, what kind of things are animes really releasing lots of, and how should we group them all together. And so I thought, okay, well, in order to do that kind of research, I'm gonna have to compile all the different animes from different years and different things. And I said I sort of started to do that by going through the new types and showing all the different animes that the publishing companies want to get you into and want you to watch. And so I'm going to start changing the angle of those episodes of where I'm going through magazines to basically what animes would they like you to watch. Okay, there are animes, of course, which I have seen and I should probably recommend to you. And so as I'm going through these episodes, I'm going to go over it in that sort of way. If I find across an anime which particularly had some sort of impact, had some story, some way that it sort of affected me, maybe I will recommend it to you, and then maybe you should actually have a look at that for that particular reason. And maybe if there's something that is in line with the topic that you like, then you should check it out. Then maybe again, that's something that you could look into and see for yourself. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this episode is going to be the beginning of a series of different episodes, because it's going to take a long time to do. I'm going to begin at the year 1981. Okay, I got into Vancouver at 1986, Expo 86, and that's sort of when I got introduced into anime and into tape trading and all that kind of stuff. So basically, a lot of the things I was tape trading and getting anime for probably was animes from the early 80s, started 1980s and that kind of stuff, and then that sort of era, right? And so basically, I'm going to go through this database that's on My Anime List, go through and check off all the animes that I've watched parts of, which I've watched series I've kind of looked at and kind of said, okay, I'm not following this, or I'm not getting enough episodes of this. And I'm also going to check off all the movies and OVAs that I've gone through, and basically, as I hit them, give you suggestions saying, okay, yeah, this is alright, whatever, this was a staple, everybody had this, everyone watched this, this was the kind of thing. And I'm going to try to go through this list, and then hopefully when you go through it with me, I give you suggestions and say, hey, that's the kind of show I'm looking for, or that's kind of wacky, I've never heard of that show, look at it, check it out, whatever, and hopefully it'll help you out. All right, so without further delay, let's begin. Okay, so I'm going to start with the year 1981, and and of course the seasons are laid out, starting with the winter, which is basically the fall season type of thing, going into January, February, and then of course then spring, then summer, then of course the fall season again. All right, and I'm going to go through basically all the various animes that I that were influential and predominant in the early ages in North America, as I remember them, and as I know them, and then I'll mark them into the database as I watch them, or as I don't watch them, or and what issues I had with them. Okay. Okay, so scroll down a little bit, and the first thing I see is Astronaut Joe. Okay, so boxing type of anime, and this is in the era of Rocky and all that kind of stuff. So definitely, now the shows were probably like the movies were probably more prolific than anything else. Oh yeah, Ginga, no, that's Galaxy Express 999. So yeah, I remember watching that entire series, and that was a good series. I think this was one of those at the early outsets. I was not really thinking that this was an anime, because I remember a lot of the episodes I had to watch on the French channel, and you know, for some reason as a little kid, how do you know that? Oh, it's okay to have a pirate ship floating through space. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Or you know a steam locomotive floating through space. I mean, of course that makes sense, right? Of course, as a kid, that's how you know, right? Or a battleship floating through space. Of course, that perfectly makes sense. That's the epitome of Japanese animation, right? But or probably in my case, probably I thought maybe that was maybe the epitome of French anime, maybe. Okay. Okay, and the next one, of course, is Astro Boy. Yeah, and that's I remember watching early episodes of Astro Boy, and again, I didn't know it was a Japanese animation at that time. I never watched all of it. I mean, I found the story really kind of dumb, so I never really followed much of that one. So it's there, yeah. Okay, and then of course the Star Blazers, or the Yamato, the third series. And again, I remember collecting like lots and lots of episodes of this show, doing the trading with like the CFO and that kind of stuff. And oh yes, Sazae-san. Okay, now Sazae-san, I remember always came on some of those tapes that I get someone to record in Japan. So they usually ends up with an episode of Sazae-san. Again, it was hard to understand because of all the cultural things that are in it. So I only caught like a couple of episodes in that. So I just never really did much on that one. So I'm gonna just mark that as just dropped, because I just saw a couple episodes and just kind of left it from there. So we'll just leave it at that then. Let's scroll down the list, and no much more in the way of TV series, but then movies. Okay, yeah, the first Gundam movie, because I remember there was like 3 Gundam movies that was really big on that time, and so yeah, definitely the Mobile Gundam movies. Those are most things that I remember. Most people had available to trade. Yeah, okay, this is the second Galaxy Express 39 movie, the Andromeda Complex. Yeah, so yeah. I remember we always pronounce that the Galaxy Express 999, or of course the way that they pronounce it would be Gingadet Setsu 39. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I'll mark that one. Yeah, definitely that was pretty good. And yeah, so I think that pretty much does it for this particular year. Now let's go to spring of 1981 and see what new shows showed up here. Okay, and the first one is Doctor Slump. Okay, so Dragon Ball fame. I remember this ended up on a couple of the early tapes before Dragon Ball came out. Again, never watched much of it. Never really cared. Didn't like the art style. Just never. That's all. I'm gonna mark that as being dropped. Okay, and oh yes, Queen of 1,000 Years, or Captain Harlock and Queen of 1,000 Years. I remember that was one of the first Harmony Gold ones I remember watching lots of. But yeah, I really enjoyed the series for that one. So yeah, that was very good. And let's continue scrolling down here. Yeah, Gold Light 10. I remember some people had that, but I wasn't really into that kind of a big robot show, especially the robot shows with the kids and that kind of stuff. So never really went with that. Okay, so here's all the rest of the series that continued on, and then these are the specialized movies. Kind of interesting that they got the movie for Helen Keller. Never remember that one. I remember Anne of Green Gables, but that's one of the kind of cultural references I've never seen before. But it's interesting that they have. So yeah, that looks like that's what it is for this season. So let's go on to the next one here. This is now the summer of 1991. And new shows are going to be Go Shogun. I remember that one's a good series. Again, not many people had this one available for trade, but some did. I didn't really like the TV series all that much. I did watch the movie, I remember, so that was all right. So okay, continue on with the ongoing shows here. Nothing really new there. Um, a lot of so more and more series out there. Okay, so here we got the second Gundam movie. Okay, so definitely that was a good one there. But yeah, like I mean, people had episodes of Mobile Suit Gundam, but a lot of the episodes of Mobile Suit Gundam had were like pretty poor quality. Hardly trade around for that one, that's for sure. Um, and what else do we have here? This is the Sea Prince of yeah, the Sea Prince. I remember that one. Uh, Not a very good movie either, but that was one of the early movie classics. Daikon, that one was surprisingly, for like an early AMB almost. A lot of people had Daikon, and various variations of it. Daikon 3, Daikon 4, and whatnot. But yeah, that one was a really a breakthrough in that kind of stuff. And the fall of 1981, we begin with, of course, the new, I guess, the new series, Urusuratsura. Um, you know, I mean, the animation was pretty decent at that time for Urusuratsura, but I just never really got into that series, and the fact that it just had that many episodes was just horrendous. Ulysses 31, another one. Very few people had that, but I got a few episodes of it. Didn't really, just you know, didn't resonate with me at all. And it is one of those, large robot type shows. Do Graham, the name came up once in a while, of course. Here's the TV series for God Mars, and I remember that one was that was in that era. It was slightly better quality, but it was in that era of those giant robot type shows. Along with just before Elgheim and Dunbine, so that's why I got really the predecessor for Gundam kind of stuff. All right, so the movies here. Ah, yes, the Baldios movie. Okay, and it was based off of the Baldios TV series. Almost, again, I don't remember anybody ever having any of the Baldios TV series, but an odd person had the Baldios movie, and I remember that one was something that people had traded and had. Oh, the movie for the pilot movie for Space Cobra. Yeah, that's if you will, the predecessor story for Trigon, if you will. But yeah, no, definitely, that one was pretty cool. A guy with a gun on his hand. A lot of people had that and the movie, of course, was. Okay, then we go on to 1982, and yes, we have the third Gundam movie. And so I said, it's very popular because a lot of people, had these three Gundam movies originally. So that was, a good complete way to complete the story there. The Queen of a Thousand Years, Millennia Queen, the movie. Still, one of the best sort of English ending theme songs in that movie. It was really, really good. That show. Doraemon, of course. No, I never really watched that actually. Totally kind of skipped out. Some weird Aladdin movie there. Okay, that's strange. What else we got here? Yeah, it's a bit boring. Some weird version of Caropial looks there. What else here? There's some specials. There's a Eurosphere Third movie there. The Doctor Slump Olivier. So yeah, nothing really that special for that season. So let's go to the next one, spring. See what new shows are on. Okay, so the name one here, Minky Momo. That's the whole entire start of that entire Creamy Mommy and Princess Emmy and all that stuff. I again didn't really get into that series, so it's kind of really dumb. Palaterio, yeah. Yeah, Patatiro. Yeah, I remember that series. That main character just really throws me off on that one. So I didn't follow that one at all. Acro Bunch again. One of those robot shows that came out at about this time. Again, didn't really follow that one at all. Um, I think there's a summary movie for that. Um, Techno Voyager, of course. Yeah. Um, Again, few episodes of that one I just did not couldn't get very many episodes of that together. Even though that was probably more easily accessible than most. That one. But yeah, again, Thunderbirds I just never did follow. Just it wasn't my type of show, I guess. Anyway, just continuing along um, with various different shows and stuff. And then let's see, the two kind of new movies they had out at the end here. Oh yes, of course, the Go Shogun movie. Yeah, that's again based off the TV series that was shown. Again, fewer people did had Go Shogun the TV series. A lot of people did actually have the Go Shogun movie, and that one was a lot more accessible. It wasn't bad. I mean, it's not I didn't say too much about that one, but I did have that one. Yeah. Galaxy Express 999, of course. That was really good, so I had that on there. And that's really all this. So let's go into summer now. All right. So what new animes that came out during the summer? Back Singer. Okay, yeah. So Back Singer was another of those, again, those sort of big mecha shows that sort of the predecessor to that Zeta Gundam sort of era, right? Because Gundam really kicked off this the giant robot era at around this time, and there's a lot of those type of shows that sort of kind of came out, and Back Singer was definitely one of them. Zabungle there was the other one that came out at this time. So yeah, it was that season, that year. Arcadia, yes, Captain Harlock and My Youth in Arcadia, very very big popular movie, that kind of stuff at this time, and big influence to me too because I used to watch a lot of Captain Harlock. Space Cobra, okay, so this is the movie. Based on the TV series, definitely. And then this one here, Ideon, yes. So again, more of that, epic space series robot show thing. Ideon was another one of those series where we always refer to him as genocide Tomino, because you don't get too attached to any anime characters in that show, because just like Gundam, he'll just start wasting them. But by the end of the show, he'll start killing characters off. So anyway, what else? Techno Police, yeah. So that's another one of these. At this time, that was one of the new trend things that was coming out, was these mechanized cop shows. Techno Police, Rashomon, things like that was sort of coming out at that time. So this is really that kind of thing. I didn't really like those. I think the one that, if I was going to do any, would be probably like Sonic Soldier Borgman. But all right, so that's 92. Last of it is Fall. So it's the last one. Okay, so what new? Of course, the most epic series in 1992 obviously would have to be Macross. Super Dimensional Force of Macross, art with Mikimoto. I think that was one of the major series that got a lot of people into anime. Space Cobra, the TV series, of course. Again, it was a fun sort of series. I mean, it had that flavor like City Hunter with sort of like the tech with the gun and everything, his hand. But it's all right, yeah, for sure. Captain Harlock, SSX, that was the second series for Captain Harlock. I liked that series. That was good. Just because I think like I had a lot of nostalgia for that kind of thing. Just the same way that a lot of people had nostalgia for like Star Blazers and that kind of stuff. I think mine was probably more Captain Harlock, and I think Captain Harlock was probably more available in multiple countries and that kind of stuff. Future War, 1980X. Yeah, 1980. This was a weird movie. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, 1980X. Yeah, so this is like a sort of an anime that had like some sort of more realistic looking like sort of characters and that kind of stuff, and it was really sort of a really tried to be a really good portrayal of what the Cold War was sort of all about. The arms buildup and nuclear weapons and that kind of stuff, and how theoretical and how tensions in the East would have caused the rise of a nuclear war. And it's really I was at this time I was a bit of a war freak and kind of really interested in like aircraft and tanks and that kind of stuff. So I was really kind of into this sort of thing. So this is a really kind of a really neat sort of more realistic movie, and and for what it was actually really it was really good, and and people did have it in their collections and that kind of stuff. And I remember that, and it was one of the ones that sort of a lot of people didn't really give it a chance, I guess because I said because I guess maybe the message or whatever, but definitely it was something definitely different and worth checking out if you ever have a chance to look at this movie. Future War, 1980X. And of course, so there you go. There's Godmore's the movie. A lot of people had actually this one. That's was one that a lot of people did actually have in their collections. The Godmore's movie, as opposed to the Godmore's the TV series. And I thought it was all right. Yeah, I think that was one of the better ones, better quality ones of those giant robot shows of this time that came out. All right, so that was a lot to go through, and there's going to be more as I continue on this list, because I'm going to, as I'm doing this, there's going to be a list that sort of forms from this of this database of all the animes that I've gone through, because now I can start grouping all the things that I've sort of watched, and you can kind of start seeing already some trends starting to form. Like, for example, you notice at this time, a lot of the TV shows and that kind of stuff, and a lot of the OVAs and movies that I'm selecting are all of the basically giant robot slash Gundam-ish sort of era, right? So obviously that's sort of the the trend, or the the big popular thing that everyone's sort of following, the mold that everyone's sort of following to make money. And of course it makes sense for this sort of time, right? So anyway, that's for another episode. I want you to go down below, click like and click subscribe, and you can get to more episodes as we get on. Okay. Also, as news, I've also now updated some of the links below. So now that I have now built a database index of all the episodes of the History of Fan Anime in it. Okay. It is now a large Excel spreadsheet, which is available on my Google Docs site there. And you can download that, and with that you can now go through the episodes in a sort of almost like book-like fashion. So if you like to get more episodes where I encapsulate different years of anime, you can go right to that section. If you like to go and talk about history and sort of like how it affects society and that kind of stuff, and sort of the scene, as it were, and you're more interested in the clubs and the fan groups and that kind of stuff, I've got those all kind of grouped together, and then you can see them kind of together, and we can talk about them together. All right, so again, the link is below. Have a look at that. Okay, and also the other new thing that's sort of going on right now is that, again, I've sort of started to collect up a lot of the excess things I got from the store, convention swag and all that kind of stuff, fan subs. I've got lots of CDs and DVDs and VCDs, and I've got VHS tapes and that kind of stuff. If anyone is interested in that kind of stuff, and you'd like to have some of the stuff or whatever, by all means, shoot me an email, shoot me so get in contact with you in some way, and I will see if I can help you out. All right. So until next time, see you again.